All right, so this is the next problem on the physics exam, and I don't know if I'm going to break them all up into one question or do multiple. If there's a preference, then I'll do it that way, but I guess it depends on the question. Some questions it makes more sense to do them in pieces, and others not so much. So this one says two forces are acting on a body in terms of the unit vector I along the x-axis and j along the y-axis, with F1 equal to 3 newtons in the I direction plus 2 newtons in the j direction. F2 is 2 newtons in the I direction minus 4 newtons in the j direction. And the magnitude is, of course, just F1 plus F2. And what we want to find is the magnitude of F and the angle. So force F is equal to force 1 plus force 2. This is superposition is what it's called, which is 3 newtons in the I direction plus 2 newtons in the j direction. This is F1 plus 2 newtons in the I direction minus 4 newtons in the j direction. This is F2. And then we just combine like terms. So this is 5 newtons in the I direction and minus 2 newtons in the j direction. And this is the magnitude or this is our force. Now if we want to find the magnitude of our force, that's the square root of our x component squared. So that's 5 newtons squared plus negative 2 newtons squared. Oops. You want to be technical, there's an I hat in here and there's a j hat in here. So this is just the x component and this is the y component. Now when you square a unit vector just has magnitude 1. So I dot I or j dot j, they're both equal to 1. So you don't really need to put them, but I guess to be technical. So you have 25 newtons squared plus 4 newtons squared is the square root of 29 newtons squared. We're squaring our units as well. And the square root of 29 is 5.39 newtons. Remember, the square root of newton squared is just a newton. Okay. Now the angle, we do it by saying tangent of theta is equal to our y component over our x component. So theta is then tangent inverse of fy over fx. Now the way that I usually do this is I just put the magnitude. So for example, the y direction, I'll just put 2. You could say newtons over 5 newtons. The newtons will obviously cancel. So it's tan inverse of 2/5, which gives you about 22 degrees. Now, our f sub y was actually -2, and our f sub x was 5. So if we think about this in terms of a coordinate system, we're like over here, right? This is our 5, this is our -2, and there's your angle. So in reality, this is a minus 22 degrees. This has to do with the domain of tangent, and sometimes it can get kind of confusing depending on your calculator. But for that reason, I do it that way. So answer choice 1, 5.4 newtons and 22 degrees below the horizontal. So that's how you do it, superposition. the definition of our magnitude, and then how we get our angle theta. And then understanding what these mean are the real core of the problem. So hopefully that helps.